Hey guys, this is Ivan from Pintado Tennis Training, and today we're gonna go over how to improve your footwork. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so let's go over what footwork is first. Footwork, in my opinion, it's kind of a means to an end. And you've probably heard this saying before, but basically what it is in tennis, you always have to be in position to hit the ball correctly. And if you're not in position, then you get jammed, then you're late, then you don't touch the ball. So basically, it's how you move these guys in order to get to your proper position to hit the tennis ball. Whatever it is you're gonna do, a slice, a ground stroke, whether you're gonna do an overhead. In my opinion, it's how you move to the ball, how you hit the tennis shot, and then how you recover. So footwork goes a little bit with everything. Footwork and technique, in my opinion, go together. You can have good footwork and bad strokes and play okay-ish, or you can have good technique and bad footwork and it still doesn't look good. The idea is to have good footwork and good technique. Okay guys, so in my opinion, footwork starts with your base. How you want to start is important. I like to be slightly low like this with my knees bent. You don't have to be super low, but you want to have a decent flex on both knees. Your weight should be more on your toes, and your body should be a slight angle. Basically a nice athletic pose. So you should be looking like this. From here, it's very easy to move. When you're low, moving, in my opinion, it's very simple. You can run, you can recover back. You know, everything just gets just a little bit easier when you're lower versus when you're straight up. When you're straight up, you look more like a teaching pro that's feeding balls. Ideally, you want to look like a tennis player. So once you have your base, then the next part is how you move to the ball. Okay guys, so when it comes to footwork, the very first thing that happens before you even move to the ball is the split step. The split step is something I encourage all the time to my lessons because everything starts with your legs. Everything starts from the ground up. Your ready position, there's a little hop. Any pro is going to be doing this little hop, any high level player. Anybody that's ever taken a lesson with a coach that's emphasized this should be doing a split step. Basically, whenever the opponent makes contact with the tennis ball, your feet should already be slightly in the air and they should be coming down ready to take off. If by the time they're hitting, you haven't gone up, you're a little bit late. By the time they're hitting, you should be almost slightly up in the air, coming down to now move and hit the tennis ball. So by the time they're making contact, I do the hop and then I move and then I hit. So basically, the split step is for everything. If you're at the net, great. You're at the net with your ready position, you split step, you hit a volley, you come back, you split step, you hit a volley, you come back, you split step, you do your overhead, good, then you do a split step in case the ball comes back. The split step is every single time, 24/7. Okay guys, here's a mistake that I see a lot. When people are running wide on a forehand or backhand, some coaches will teach you to take little steps, and some people will take this to a grain of salt. If I'm running this way, ideally it should look something like big steps, big step, big step, big step, hit, and then come back. What some coaches will show is something that looks like this, hit, and then come back. And I kid you not, I've seen people do this. That's why I'm not over exaggerating sometimes. So basically taking small steps for a situation where you're running far away, in my opinion, doesn't look good. The small step should be right before you're about to hit. Perhaps you need to adjust. So you ran, and then right before you're about to hit, maybe you take adjusting steps to make sure your spacing is perfect. And then you come back and then you're ready for the ball. But basically, when you move to the ball, it shouldn't be there shouldn't be 1,000 steps in between, because in tennis there's just no time. The ball comes so quickly that your job is just to be ready. When you move, you should already be on your ready position, ready to hit. You should be already coiled to then fire. When I move, I'm already in position. So I move and I set. If I move far away, I run, I take big steps, and now I'm ready to hit. So basically, when moving left to right, everything should be big step. I'm moving far away, boom. I hit, and then I come back. Everything should be quick. It shouldn't be 1,000 steps. Basically, that's the theory of moving left to right. Okay guys, another one is when you're moving forward. The right footwork when you're moving forward is important too. A lot of people sometimes when they move forward to hit a shot, they'll run first and then the racket will go back and it'll cause them to be late. And basically, ideally, your preparation should be happening as you're moving to the ball. As you're running forward, the racket should be back. Now you're ready to hit. Now you're ready to recover. Or if you're really far into the court, great, you hit, and then you hit your approach and then you go to the net. But basically, you need to prepare as you're moving. So if I'm moving diagonally, my racket goes back. If I'm moving forward, great, my racket goes back. Everything is always prepared. That way, by the time I'm at the ball, all I gotta do is finish the swing. Same thing on the forehand side too. Some people will do like, they'll run, but their racket will stay on the ready position. And again, you have to move with your take back going on. Everything needs to look the same. So I'm running forward, racket goes back, now I'm ready to hit, and then you go from there. You know, whether it's an approach shot, good, then you keep going to the net. If you're coming back, then you recover back. Okay guys, let's talk about recovery. This is another big one too. When you're moving, somebody with bad footwork, sometimes they get to the ball and maybe, the extreme example is that they get to the ball and they don't even recover back. A better player, maybe they get to the ball and then maybe they walk back like this. Better player will do something like hit and then the recovery is quickly. A lot of times if the distance is short, all you need to do is just sidestep back. If you're further away, okay, crossover, sidestep back. But ideally, it should be right away. There shouldn't be much delay. So recovery is very important. To me, after you hit the ball, are you in position for the next ball? And then after that, while you're waiting, while the ball is in the air, what are you doing with your feet? Are you stationary? Or are you still light on your feet, maybe moving a little bit, maybe doing mini split steps? So oftentimes, if you hit, you're back, but then the opponent hasn't hit the ball yet, no need to be like flat-footed. You still want to be light on your feet, ready to do your split step, ready to take off. Now, this one is another one that I see a lot. It's especially in a lower level player. Say you get into a defensive position where you hit a lob. A lot of times they'll hit a lob and their feet will be straight up. So they'll hit a lob, the ball goes up in the air, they're waiting for the opponent to smash it, and then they'll kind of be like this. And ideally, if you hit a lob, you should recover even a little bit further back and your feet should be ready to take off. Your legs are what start everything. If you don't have good footwork, your game is gonna go downhill. I remember in 2004, they asked Roger Federer what was the part that clicked to you the most. I think after he won the U.S. Open, he said once the footwork clicked in, everything else was history. And I think that can go along for everybody, because feet, in my opinion, how you move is everything. If you can recover well, if you're always in position, now your game goes up by a lot. Guys, by the way, let me show you an example of how you can practice your footwork sometimes if you don't have anybody to practice with. If you're returning serve and you want to imagine that you're on the deuce side and you're returning a wide cross court, you could do things like you load, you hit, and then you come back and you recover for the next shot. So you can do this many times, no need a ball. You push off your right leg, you swing, pop, boom. As you can tell, I've done this many times, so I'm used to doing it. In a match situation, if I had more time, I would do full swing and then come back and then look to use my forehand in a match situation. If you return down the line, if I were to return down the line from the deuce side, maybe it's a little different because now you got to recover a little bit more. So I would hit down the line, and then now I got to come back here to be in position for the next ball. So this is just without a ball. It's just knowing where to hit and where to move. So a lot of times when you hit cross court, the recovery to the middle is very short. When you go down the line, now you gotta take that crossover and side shuffle. And now you're ready to be in position to hit the next ball. So guys, that's just an example of what I would look like if I was returning serve. Another one is if I were to do a slice return and I lean into the ball, same thing. I lean in, I push my weight on from left leg to right leg, and then I would be something like this, ready for the next ball. So you always want to have a good base, you always want to be set up. So guys, this is just a small video to help you give you an idea of how you can improve your footwork. Another quote that was also said by Roger Federer is, the greatest players are the greatest movers, and I think that is very accurate as well. Nick from Intuitive Tennis said it as well, and I think it's a very accurate statement by the GOAT. Guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video.